Did you know that you can transform your decoupage projects into stunning works of art with just one magical product? In this video, I'll show you how to add Pentart Fineline Crackle to your decoupaged images to create beautiful textured effects that elevate your craft and take your decoupage game to the next level. Hello there, all my crafty friends. I'm Donna from Mason Creations, etc., and welcome to my channel. If you're ready to do this, let's make a mess. The first thing I'm going to do is give my blank ornament a coat of white paint. I'm using Dixie Belle in the color Cotton. I'm going to be decoupaging a rice paper image, so I need a white background. I'm painting both sides and I'll let it dry for about 30 minutes. This and all the products you're going to see me use today came from DecoupageNapkins.com, my wonderful sponsors. I just love the winter birds on this rice paper. I'm using the top two pictures, so I'm going to cut out the circle. They're just a tiny bit larger than the flat part of my ornament blank, but they'll do just fine. I'm going to make it work. I'm going to use Polyvine Decorator's Varnish in a dead flat finish as my decoupage adhesive today. This works so much better than the popular brand of decoupage glue. It's a varnish and not a glue, so the end results are outstanding. It's not lumpy under your paper, dries crystal clear, and never will yellow. It's UV, water, and stain resistant, and dries fast. I sprayed my images with some water. This is going to make them more pliable, so I can bend it over the edge of the ornament blank. The colors in this paper are so vibrant, which is why I'm using a background color of white. When you decoupage either a napkin or rice paper, always do it over a light color such as white or very light cream. This will show nice vibrant colors. If you decoupage over a dark color, the colors in your image will pull in the darkness and look dark and muddy. Where are you watching from? Let me know in the comments. It's fun to see what cities and countries you are all watching from. I'm filming from Las Vegas, Nevada in the United States. I'm pressing down those edges with a piece of Ziploc bag that I misted with water. Don't do this without misting your plastic. That will keep it from sticking to the rice paper. I let that dry for a couple hours, then decoupage the other side and let dry. Now I'm giving both sides a coat of Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish in a satin finish. I'm using Doss clay to make some trim for the sides of this ornament. I'm adding the clay and trimming off the excess, then I'll put it in the freezer for about 20 minutes. Wait till you see how easy it unmolds after being in the freezer. This is your magic weapon. If you want to see a video that is all about air dry clay and how to use it, with lots of tips and tricks, click the banner in the top right corner. I'll also leave you a link for that video in my description box below this video. My friend Harmony requested a rose gold Christmas ornament. Here you go, Harmony, this video is for you. It's going to be rose gold everything. Okay, fresh out of the freezer, and it just pops right out of the mold and nothing breaks off. I'm using tacky glue to attach my clay to the ornament while it's still wet, and I can form it to the ornament base. You do need to let your clay thaw for just a few minutes so it will be pliable enough for you to bend. After I add the clay around the entire circle, I'll let it dry overnight. DecoupageNapkins.com has such a great selection of napkins that you can purchase one at a time. They carry many other craft supplies such as rice paper, paint, clay, molds, and a great selection of Polyvine products. Over 9,000 products and growing. They are wonderful to work with and will send your order out fast. You'll receive free shipping on orders over $75 and special bonus points for orders over $100. Subscribe to their newsletter by entering your email address and you'll receive 10% off your next order. They are truly your one-stop shop for craft supplies. Make sure you check them out. I'll be leaving links for all the products I use in my description box below. Now that the clay has dried, it's time to paint it. I'm using Pentart paint in the color Rose Gold, which is a metallic color and is so gorgeous. The Rose Gold is blending so beautifully with the colors in this rice paper. I'm really happy with the way this looks. I let it dry for about an hour. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I use a lot of Dixie Belle and Pentart paints. These are my absolute favorites. They both go on super smooth and creamy with really good coverage. I rarely, if ever, need a second coat of Pentart, and that goes for the metallic colors as well. I test all the products that I recommend in my videos. I won't recommend anything that I haven't used myself and prefer. If I'm recommending it, you can bet it's a great product. Each product will be listed in my description box below and will have a blue link to make it easy for you to find. Any of the links I provide are safe for you to click on. After the paint dried, I gave the entire ornament, front and back, a coat of Polyvine Heavy Duty Wood Varnish in a satin finish. 2 or 3 coats of this gives you a beautiful shine that's moisture and heat resistant, as well as UV resistant and food safe. This works wonderful on any painted or decoupaged surface or a shiny surface that has been coated with Polyvine multi-surface lacquer. I've had a few people ask me if this varnish has a strong smell. No, it does not. It's water-based, so there are no harmful fumes at all. It's only the solvent-based varnishes that have any fumes. I'm using Pentart's Fineline Crackle varnish. It's a 2-part system, and I'm brushing on component number 1. I'll let that dry for about an hour or so until it's clear. Now that it's dry, I'll brush on component number 2. This step is an amber color. Use thin, even strokes. If you get a buildup or drips anywhere, it'll show when dry. I'll let this dry for a couple of hours. Once dry, you'll see the cracks. If you're enjoying this video, please let me know by hitting that like button. And why not share this with a friend? Thanks for doing that. You won't want to miss any of the new projects coming up, so don't forget to subscribe. I have some amazing cracks now, and I'm going to add some antiquing so you can see them. I'm using Pentart Antique Paste. It's solvent-based, so it's safe to put over Fineline Crackle. I'm rubbing it into all the cracks and then wiping it off with a soft, dry cloth. Make sure you do not use a wet wipe. I let the antique paste dry for a couple of hours. Then I gave it a coat of Pentart's solvent-based varnish in a glossy finish to protect it. They are formulated to work together. Please note that you can only give this 1 coat of the clear varnish, which is really all you need. It's very shiny and looks like porcelain. Additional layers will crack. I'll let this dry for several hours. Also, please note that you cannot use any water-based varnishes over the Fineline Crackle. It will ruin your crackle finish. The best way to clean your brush after using the Pentart solvent-based varnish is with good old-fashioned turpentine. I'm going to add some of the antiquing on the clay embellishment. I covered the entire clay area with the antique paste, making sure to get it in all the large cracks and crevices. Because I gave the clay a coat of clear varnish earlier, I'm able to wipe the antiquing off the surface of the clay. It stays only in the cracks and crevices. This will give the embellishment some depth by adding shadows. It will also define all the details from the mold. How about some rose gold glitter? Yes, please. I'm using Pentart's solvent-based varnish as a glue for the glitter. You can't put anything but solvent-based products on the Fineline Crackle, so I'm not able to use any other type of glue. I'm adding it around the edge, between the image and the clay, as well as in the deep cracks of the clay embellishment. I'll let that dry for several hours. I'm going to use my mini bow dabber tool to make some bows for this beautiful piece. This is a great little tool if you're bow challenged. There are vertical and horizontal slits in the bow maker. The vertical one is for the cord that will tie the bow together. Take a small thin cord or wire and put it in the vertical slit. To make the bow, put your ribbon back and forth in the horizontal slit. You can put as many layers and different types of ribbon as you want to. Once you have all your ribbon layers in the horizontal slits, pull up the thin cord or wire in the vertical slits and tie both ends together. Now you can pull up your beautiful bow. I pull the cords around to the back and tie a knot. And all that's left to do is trim off the excess ribbon on the tails of the bow. You can find a link for this in my description box below in my favorite tools section, just in case you want to check it out. I have some red berries that match the ones in the rice paper image. I'm going to add them to the center of the bow. Then a little touch of bling that just happens to be rose gold. For the bottom of the ornament, I'm adding a tassel between two bows, and I'll glue that to the bottom of the ornament as one piece. There are still 2 more Sundays before Christmas. I'll be releasing videos on both. My last video post before Christmas will be on the 22nd. Do you want to see how to use UV resin? It's very different from the epoxy resin. I'll be making some really cute Christmas ornaments using the UV resin. The following week will be a fabulous Christmas 3D mixed media project you're sure to love. So make sure you stick around and catch them as well. Right after the first of the year, we'll be ready to jump into spring. Let me know if there are any special spring requests. I'm going to use a metallic wax rub in the color of white pearl. I'm putting a little bit on my finger and rubbing it on my thumb so I can put it on smoothly and not in globs. I'm lightly rubbing it over the surface of the clay area. This will give it some nice bright highlights. I glued the bottom piece on, added a silver cord hanger at the top, and then glued the top bows, one in the front and one in the back. Don't forget, all of the wonderful products I'm using today can be found at my favorite place for craft supplies, DecoupageNapkins.com, and I'll leave you links in my description box below. If you're enjoying watching Christmas ornaments and projects, I have created a playlist just for you. Click the picture on the bottom right to be taken directly to that playlist. I'm so happy you were here with me today, and thanks so much for watching. I can't wait to see you all next week. I'm working on a new project with you in mind. You can subscribe by clicking my picture in the top right corner.